tripping. All right, I think I am live. Am I live? Why don't I see the... I don't see myself. Leave. Go back. Okay, so hello. If you're joining me, hi Tiffany. Thank you for joining me. I'm having a little issue. I try to use two cameras, so I'm trying to set up the second one. I didn't see myself, so let's try it again. Okay, there I am. All right, let me start it again. Paste and start. Okay. So today's message, thank you for joining me, sis. For those that will be watching the replay, why does it keep doing that? Okay, anyway, we bind that in the name of Jesus. I'm having some issues on the other one, so hopefully they can see me, but it looks like they can't. And if that's the case, it's okay. I'll replay it. Hi, Angela. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just going to do it on this camera if the other one is not working. So today's message, I just got off the phone and it was an amazing call. I want to just let you know, doors, be an expectancy of doors you ain't even think about. So for the replay, hi, Brandy. Can you see me on there, Brandy? Because I don't see myself. And so I'm trying to see if something's okay. Praise God, because something must be wrong on my end then, because it's not showing a site. All right, praise God. Thank you for joining me. I am so excited right now. I literally just got off the phone with a blessing, and some more to come. But just let you know, God is opening up doors that we haven't even thought to even knock on. How about I say that? For those that are watching the replay, I am Kalila Johnson at KalilaJohnson.com. I am the CEO of Undefeatable University, an online self-development training community, as well as I am a generational impact and legacy strategist and your undefeated life coach. And I am here with a message about breaking toxic relationship trends. Stop waiting to be chosen. So there was something that was wise. Hey, Tracy, thank you for joining me. There's something that I got. Me and my husband were at this conference. I think it was like last year. It wasn't, honey. It was like last year. And this woman said, she says, stop letting your friends choose you. And I tell you, that was like one of the wisest but simplest words I had heard in a long time. Now, I know that God had been dealing me with about that. What happens when, and also, I don't know if any of you have. Hello, Minister Winnie. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you, woman of God. So I heard this from God where he was saying, he's like, stop letting other people choose. And when you are someone that, hello, Valerie, hi, so glad you're all coming on. And when you are someone that has dealt with a lot of trauma, this is something that we do. We have this way about us that we are rejected often. And so sometimes what happens is that when you're often rejected, especially as a child, you let people choose you. And the people that choose you are actually choosing you based off the fact that you have low self-esteem. They're choosing you based off the fact that you do hang your head low. They're based off, they're choosing you based off the symptoms or the outside appearance that you have that right sign that I can do what I want and I can tell you how I want you to be and that you'll be a people pleaser. They're looking for certain symptoms in us. Users match with people that can be easily taken advantage of, victims with villains. That's not by chance. There is an actual way that you show up that allows people to know I can get that one. People that think like that, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the way that you look them in the eye or you're looking down. They're looking for the way that you sit up straight or you're hunched over. They're looking for the way that you smile only when you're smiled at. They're looking for the way that you show up. Are you confident or are you just grateful to just be here? And if we're not aware of how we're showing up, we keep attracting the same thing, which further gives us the validation that, obviously something's wrong with me, that I keep, these people keep saying the same thing about me. No, you're picking wrong. As a matter of fact, they're picking you. And so in order to break a relationship trend, you have to accept what is it inside of me? How am I choosing it? Or are my relationships, are your last 5 relationships people that decided to be your friend? Did they come to you and say, I just, you know what? I see you, I want to be around you. I just want to, and there's nothing wrong with that. There should be a magnet, especially if you are a believer. There should be a magnet where people want to be around you. But don't get it confused for people that can see that I can take advantage of them. And that's often the case. People that can see, well, their validation is, hey, hello, Marlo, thank you for joining me. Their validation is in who accepts them and what they do for a person. So I could probably get them to do what I needed them to do. I could probably get them to be my doormat. And so I just want to give you permission today. Break those toxic relationship trends. I want you to start to analyze. When you go to the doctor, do you not get this evaluation where the doctor asks you, is this in your family? Is this in your family? Is this in your family? And by that place, when you go and say, these are the symptoms, that's what's wrong with me, they can actually say, well, this is based off of your hereditary, based off of your makeup. It looks like this probably is wrong with you. Well, that's the same thing when we start to see friendship patterns, or we start to see relationship patterns. We start to see that the same type of man or the same type of woman are the ones that we are attracting. The same type of friendships are the same people that we're inviting into our lives. We need to step back and say, did I invite this? And now you might not have chosen them, but indirectly by not choosing for yourself, you did. You allowed it. And so in order for us to break those toxic relationship trends, we have to analyze, how do we come about this decision? How do we make our decisions? Do we just like, oh, they're nice, you can be my friend, walk through life for me? Because if we really understood that they say the 5 closest people to you have an indication of telling you where you're going. And if we were that careful about the people that we allowed in our life, we would be very, very mindful and say, well, do you meet the qualifications? What do you bring to the table? This is not, we're too grown to be sitting around like, oh, she smiles at me. Oh, you can be my friend for life. You can't. I need to know what you bring in, because sometimes we let our guards down and we let people in too fast, too soon. And we end up with the same result where the betrayal continues, where we've got to put some guards up. We've got to put some standards up. And this is not to be mean. I'm not saying like looking at everybody suspicious, because I've been on the other end of seeing people mistreat me because they're looking at me like, where's she come from? Why are you here? The devil's on you. You know, don't do that. Don't treat anybody like that. I'm not giving you a pass to go out and mistreat anyone. Hey, Brian, I'm just saying that it's time for us to give ourselves permission to make standards, to make protocol when it comes to our life. See, if you go to a job interview, you're not just going to go there and be like, I like your shoes. And he's like, oh, you got the job. Well, how about we understand that we are the CEOs of our lives, and that every single position that we align with and every person that we place in position is somebody that is going to add or subtract. And many times when we see repetitive cycles, we may have left the bad marriage, we may have left the bad relationships, we may have left the bad neighborhood, but somehow we're still choosing from our old selves. We're still choosing because we haven't gotten the memo that there needs to be a higher standard. When you go through all of this self-evaluation and this self-work, and you still let the same people choose you, they see you and they say, oh, she's got a need of validation. They can read you in a minute. I'm telling you, the devil got the most prophetic people. They will read you in a second. They see how you hold your head down. They see how you can't take a compliment. They say, oh, I like your hair today, and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't do nothing with this today. You can't take a compliment. Listen, I'm just talking from my own experience. It's not to make anybody feel bad. These are the things that God showed me about me. He said, I need you to stop putting your head down and saying thank you because you like my gift. Thank you that you like me. Thank you that you like my smile. There was this overly, I was giving people too much access for too little. I was giving them places that they didn't earn. They're just like, oh, you nice to me, so of course you're my best friend. And in this new season, I said it in the beginning, but I'm seeing it. Listen, stuff is happening in the background. I'm seeing doors you didn't even think to ask, but God said some of the doors that I kept closed weren't because you didn't have the gift, weren't because you didn't have the ability to go there. It was because you didn't have the capacity to see what was attached to you that couldn't go. You didn't have the ability to actually say, you know what, you don't fit where I'm going. You may be a threat. You may actually sabotage me because you haven't gone through the processes that I've gone through. And although this may seem mean to you, you may not understand, but I'm going to have to let you go. I mean, it's time to have that conversation. I've done an evaluation on our friendship. I want you to act like the boss of your life. And you may not do it like this, but I've looked over. It seems like we've been friends for 6 years. And through that time we've been friends, I don't see you showing up to support me. All I ever get a call from you is when, looks like the last 3 calls that I got from you, you had an emergency. That seems to be the trend. I've been watching how I've placed this in paper, so I didn't just, this is not an emotional thing. This is actually just based off of the records. What it's indicating is that this is actually not a friendship, but you got in when I was under the assumption that I had no value. But unfortunately, the terms of the condition of being my friend has changed, and I actually now understand that the job description has risen. Now I need support systems, actual support systems, not just people that are just sitting around waiting for things to happen to see what they can get. I'm gonna need you to either put in some work. I'm gonna need you to show that you have brought something to the table, because my standards have changed. And if you can't meet by the standards of this, I apologize, but I'm gonna need to let you go. Hey, it's not me, it's you. It's just time that I start to take evaluation of everything around me, because my future means too much. See, the thing about me is that I'm not here for myself. I'm here to leave a legacy. I'm here to pass a baton. I'm here that every single moment of the day is meant to build and stack so that I can leave something behind. He said, a good man, the Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. But I also believe that a person, a believer, leaves a legacy that can be found in the next generation, that they just pick up the mantle and said, I'll take it from here and run. I understand that my life is not my own, that this gift wasn't meant for me to just harbor it and get a couple of bucks. I understand that everything that I put my hands to, that when God is connected to it, that he backs it up. And so I've got to understand that there's a purifying. He said, sit not at the seat of tables with the wicked. So I got to make sure, can you meet the qualifications? Can you bring something to the table? Can you come with a gift? Can you take this talent and go out there and multiply it? Or are you just burying it in the ground waiting for me to come up? I just need to know I'm just doing an evaluation. Okay, I'm just going to do an evaluation, and that goes for family too. Okay, I know we've been blood, and we grew up, we was in the same house, or we was, we always knew each other, but I understand that the person that you thought you knew is no longer here. I know, you saw me when I was out there fighting, but I don't do that no more, and I don't live like that no more, and the fact of the matter is that we chose 2 different paths, and so I'm not going to just let you get in based off of the blood. I'm going to have to say that he changed my name, and I'm going to have to decide based off of the character. He's made me new, and so you decided to stay there, and now you want to pull me down to your level of dysfunction because that's where you're comfortable at, and I've just got to say that I don't think you meet the qualifications anymore. Now, we're going to always stay family, and I might see you at a couple of dinners, but you probably aren't going to get the access that you're used to, because there's no entitlement in vision. There's no entitlement in purpose. There's no entitlement in God saying that I've called you up here. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard of the ACE test. This was reminding, I've been doing this study on trauma, lots of studying on trauma, and because I've gone through a lot. And it's no better way to learn about yourself than to go and dissect the very thing that you have been afflicted by. And so as I learned about trauma, there's this test called the ACE test, and they give this a lot to children, but they also give it to some adults, and there's 10 questions. And in the 10 questions, it kind of gives you an idea of if you went through this, through the ages of, I forgot the ages, but it might be from adolescent, from 1 year old to about, I think it was like 16 or 17 years old. I forgot the age limit. I have to go back and look. But if you went through such and such at this age, you are high percentage to try to kill yourself. And the percentage was like something like 500%. Like it was like, the range was ridiculous, okay? And you can pull it up online. You can do this test yourself. It's only 10 questions. It asks you if you went through this, if you had a parent in jail at this age, if you suffered this thing, and it's so many things that they don't even put. Well, I went through that test, and I pretty much got 100, okay? I got an A on the level of trauma. So pretty much based off of the studies, I should be dead or something. So the thing about it is that the level of work that it takes to turn this PTSD, the type of PTSD that war soldiers go to, the type of thing that people don't recover from, that you see the people in the streets that's talking to themselves like, how are you today? I'm fine. I'm great. That's the type of trauma that I went through. And I saw myself headed in that direction. As a matter of fact, the enemy would give me visions of myself, talking to myself so that I could agree with it. But God gave me another vision and so showed me that I was going to be speaking and using his name to give people hope and showing them that I am the demonstration that God can overturn any type of statistic. And it doesn't matter what you've gone through. God has the final say. And so because of that, I understand that this was no easy route. This was not just wishing and praying. The mental torment that came for me did take my life. My pulse was gone because I swallowed all these pills so I could just rest. So I understand that this is life or death for me. The enemy wanted my life so badly that he wanted to take me out of here, and he could have if God would have allowed him, but God said no, it ain't her time yet. And so because of the level of fight to get to this place, I know that I don't have the choice to allow anyone in my space. I don't have the choice to just say, you know what, you like me? Check yes. You can be my friend. You can't. I love you. I can minister to you, but I've got to place you in a position, because this is the thing about, there's people that you lead, there's people that you trust, there's people that you mentor. That's different. There's all different positions. But when I let you into a space where, and I'm saying, hey, I need to lean on you and you need to lean on me, there's this equal yoke thing that needs to happen. Now, we don't need to have the same gifts, but I need to be able to know that if I tell you something, that you're going to keep it. If I show you my vulnerability, that you're not going to judge it. That if I show you that I'm worn out, and nobody else gets to see that part of me that says, I'm tired of the fight. This spiritual warfare is gruesome. And everybody else gets the smile. How are you today? Great. God is good. But you get the I'm tired. I can't carry this load one more day. I just need you to pray for me. I'm tired of the fight. That you know what to do, that you know, say, shut it down, everything, shut it down. I know how to go into prayer. I know how to cover you. I know how to stand there strong. I know how to listen. I know how to speak a word of encouragement, because I'm here for you and not to get something from you. I know my position. And so the position has changed because the requirements of me have changed. And so everybody wants the God's going to do it. But have you taken the account of your support system? Have you allowed God to show you what's really there in front of you, so that when he gives those open doors to you, that you know exactly where everyone belongs and everybody knows, okay, it's time. It's here now. We're here. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody's equipped for this position. Everybody's been gone through their process so that they can actually put their hands to the plow. Not just based off of people just feeding your flesh what you needed when you didn't get it as a child, or giving you just what you need because you never got that affirmation. No, we too old for that. I don't need you I don't need you to give me that. Thank you. I'm glad you like my shoes. And I'm glad you think my smile is pretty, but I'm going to need you to come with more than that. Because this position costs too much. As a matter of fact, putting the wrong people in place is dangerous. And so God wants to tell you there are doors opening you ain't thought about. But I need you to prepare like that's real. If you really believe that I'm about to open doors that no man can shut, if you really believe that 2020 is about to be off the chain, if you really believe that I'm going to do this thing for you, I need you to act like it. I need you to start looking around you and starting to evaluate everything that's around you. Are you truly equipped? Or are you just stocked? You got stacks of people that are around you, but nobody's really contributing. And in actuality, they're draining more from you, taking more from you than actually adding in. You're drained because you got to pour out more and nobody's pouring back into you. Is there anybody that can help you balance this weight that you're carrying? Or are you carrying your weight, your assignment, and theirs? I mean, tell me, have you done the work? to look around you and say, you know what, I know this is going to hurt because I've known you my whole life, and I've got to put you in a associate. You're like, listen, we don't have to go all the way. I don't have to hate you. I don't hate you. I don't hate any of you. But I do have to say, you know what, based off of your qualifications, I'm going to have to demote you. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say I have standards now. I know you got used to me not having any, but I've got standards now because the call costs that. I don't have a choice. I can't stay here with you because we can't both stay here. And if we stay here together, nobody's getting free, and the promised land is waiting for somebody to occupy it. And if nobody's going to go, I'm going to go. And I want you to come. But I want you to do the work. And if you can't do the work, then watch me do it so that you can see that this demonstration that God can do the same thing for you because he's no respecter of persons. But right now, I've got to look selfish. I've got to allow you to misunderstand my intentions. But I've got to put up barriers. And so I think that's been the theme of the messages that I've been giving. I think this is the 11th day, but these are the messages that I've been given because I want you to give yourself permission. Let nothing hinder you. There was a thought that came up. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Sonia, Daniel, Tasha, Marilyn. Thank you all for joining me. If I missed anyone, I just thank you all for joining me today. So, and if you haven't watched the beginning of the message, get the beginning of the message because I need you to get that it's okay to give yourself permission to change your mind, to decide differently, to make standards, because what's coming and what God has planned for us, it's too important for our egos to get in the way. It's too important for us to worry about what someone thinks. It was this morning that I started to get bombarded by thoughts because I have to tell you, right before you enter the promised land, the enemy he tries to get anything in his arsenal. If he doesn't have much, if you've removed everything else, he's going to come with anything he can try to get you to get back down here, to come back. He's going to use. And I remember taking my burdens to God this morning and saying, Lord, what should I do about this matter? He says, it's not for you to do anything about. He says, don't you understand, right before you cross over to the promised land, the enemy is trying to use anything that he can, and his hand is empty. He don't have much anymore because you've removed everything else. But if he can get the things that you care about the most, he's going to try to use them. And so what I need you to do is I need you to understand that when you ask me to cover this situation, I've covered it. And I don't need you to get down, Nehemiah. I don't need you to get distracted, Nehemiah. I need you to stay focused on what I said and cross over into your promised land. It's the time. I've given you. I've removed the gatekeepers. Nothing can stop you but you. And most of the time we don't realize it, that the reason why we have to go through such a process is because by the time that process comes, he knows that the enemy is going to come at you with everything. And he said, like flint, keep your face focused. But they over there talking about focus. But she said she'll never focus. But my own mother, but my own mother-in-law, but my own child, but my own focus. You're almost there. Like flint. You got to cross over. So the very people that you think are distracting you right now, or think that you need to put your hands to, or you need to help, or you need to run to their aid, trust me that I got it because I'm their God too. Just stay focused. And don't move off of this place. Keep building, keep moving, keep going forward. Take the territory that I'm giving you. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for joining us. If this has blessed you, please share it so more can get that word of the Lord and know that you get to choose who comes in your circle, and you're not choosing like you used to choose. You're not choosing off of the insecure child that didn't get affirmed in their household. You're not choosing based off of the person that's been overweight all their life and now that they've lost a couple of pounds. You're not choosing based off of the fact that you used to be in the drugs or used to be an alcoholic and now you people are liking you. You're not choosing based off of the old man. You're choosing off of who God says you are, and you have every right to. So I'm reminding you today that transformation is intentional. Change requires commitment, and you are your greatest investment. In order to make impact, you have to begin within. And so until tomorrow, I'll be here this time. Please join me and please share this message. And as well as there's so many exciting things, programs that I am now an Udemy instructor, and I have so many different things that I'm working on diligently. Please go to my email list and KalilaJohnson.com and register for my email list. I might not send you too much today, but it's going to be coming very, very shortly, and I just want to stay connected with you. And so until tomorrow, remember this, be blessed, and I'll see you here this time tomorrow. God bless you.